Okay. Good afternoon. Whether screen is visible? Anyone can confirm?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Anyone can confirm whether
Yes,
screen
sir.
is visible? Hello?
Visible, sir.
I think it is visible. Now today we will see applications of robots. In that first of all we will see industrial application of robots in material handling and assembly. Already we have seen robots can be guided by an external control device or the control may be embedded within. Robots may be constructed on the lines of human form, but most robots are machines designed to perform a task with no regard to their aesthetics. Robots develops machines that can substitute for humans and replicate human actions. Robots can be used in many situations and for lots of purposes. But today, many are used in dangerous environments, including inspection of radioactive materials, bomb detection and deactivation, manufacturing processes, or where humans cannot survive, for example, in space, underwater, in high heat, and cleanup and containment of hazardous materials and radiation. Robots can take on any form, but some are made to resemble humans in appearance. Therefore, this is nothing but introduction. We have seen definition also where robots can be used. Now we'll see the application one by one. Now areas of application of robots. First, outer space, military, industry, health service, agriculture, underwater, security and surveillance. Now, industrial application. An industrial robot is a robot system used for manufacturing. Industrial robots are automated, programmable, and capable of movement on three or more axes. Typical applications of robots include welding, painting, assembly, disassembly, pick and place for printed circuit boards, packaging and labeling, palletizing, product inspection and testing, all accomplished with high endurance, speed, and precision. They can assist in material handling. Some of the applications of robots in industry are loading and unloading. Robots are extensively being utilized for the loading and unloading of machines and parts in industries, thus substituting human labor and other mechanical methods. Robots possess The benefit of duplicating the design tasks, performing accurately, and being compatible with the nearby equipment. Already we have seen in many videos that robots are used for loading and unloading of the machines parts in industries. Next is arc welding. The surroundings of arc welding are unsafe for the fitness of human beings, and achievement of quality welds is difficult by manual operations. Therefore, since smooth movements provide superior welds, the use of robots for such operations is growing very rapidly. Utilization of industrial robots for arc welding is economical, and the welds are of an excellent quality. Therefore, arc welding for arc welding also robots are used because the surroundings of the arc welding are unsafe for the fitness of human being, and also the quality of welds obtained through robot is good as compared to quality of the welds obtained by manual operations. Next is repetitive work cycle. A second characteristic that tends to promote the use of robotics is a repetitive work cycle. If the sequence of elements in the cycle is the same and the elements consist of relatively simple motions, a robot is usually capable of performing the work cycle with greater consistency and repeatability than a human worker. Greater consistency and repeatability are usually manifested as higher product quality than can be achieved in manual operation. Therefore, these are the applications of the robots in industry, that is for loading and unloading, arc welding, repetitive work cycle. Next is spot welding. Robots perform spot welding very accurately with recurring operations and are extensively being used in automotive industry. They can extend to places which normally would be difficult to reach by manual welding. Therefore, for spot welding operations, you are knowing these cars are manufactured. Therefore, all the different panels in the car are joined by using spot welding operations. Therefore, there you will find use of robots. A picture is there. We are going to see that picture also. Next is painting. It is a difficult and unhealthy operation where hazardous fumes are released that are extremely dangerous for human beings, and in which a danger of explosion exists in the areas of operation. Furthermore, manual painting results are not inconsistent due to unpredictable speed of movement of the components involved in this process. Therefore, for painting application, you are knowing that if humans are used, therefore that thickness of color will not remain uniform. Therefore, robots can be used for spray painting applications in case of automobile, so that you can see that for the cars or that automobiles, automobiles, this if you use robots, the thickness of the paint also finishing is very good. Next is investment casting. Investment casting requires duplication, accuracy, and uniformity in production, all of which can be achieved with employment of industrial robots. Next is integration of parts. The integration of parts in various subsystems of production is an important application where robots can function more efficiently and with extra speed, thus assisting in the increase of production rate. Presently, robots are being used for tightening of bolts and nuts, placing of components in circuit boards, and a variety of other similar tasks. Logic devices are used for identification and rectification of defects or inconsistencies. Hazardous work environment for human. When the work environment is unsafe, unhealthful, hazardous, uncomfortable, or otherwise unpleasant for humans, there is a reason to consider an industrial robot for the work. Therefore, these are the different applications of robot in the industry for spot welding, painting, investment, casting, integration of parts, arc welding, loading, unloading, repetitive work cycle. Now you just see these industrial robots being used for automotive manufacturing and assembly. These are articulated robot. This is manufactured by this Coca company, KUKA. See that this car body is there. Robots are used for spot welding and assembly operation. Now, next application is material handling. Material handling robots can automate some of the most tedious, dull, and unsafe tasks in a production line and is one of the easiest ways to add automation. Material handling robots enhance the efficiency of your production line and increase customer satisfaction by providing quality products in a timely manner. The term material handling encompasses a wide variety of product movements, part selection and transferring, palletizing, packing, and machine loading are just a few of the applications that are considered material handling. When picking material handling equipment for your facility, you should consider payload and speed requirements, end of arm tooling or grippers needed, facility layout and floor space, the type of material being you handled, and any additional possible production problems. Therefore, these are the various things we have to consider while using the robots during material handling. Then part transfer, a dull and tedious process, can also be injury inducing to human workers. By adding robots to this job, human workers are kept free of the hazardous environment. Then packaging robots are extremely flexible and easy to integrate into a workspace. Some of the advantages of packaging robots include reduced part package time and ability to lift larger packages and labor cost reduction. With the right end arm tooling, a robot can complete any packaging process. There is a large variety of robot sizes, mounting options, payload, and reach available to choose from. Palletizing robots can be seen in many industries, including food processing, manufacturing, and shipping. Machine loading robots not only increase production speeds, it also protects workers from injury. Die casting. The robot unloads parts from the die casting machine. Peripheral operations sometimes performed by the robot include dipping the parts into a water bath for cooling. Then plastic molding. Plastic molding is a robot application similar to die casting. The robot is used to unload molded parts from the injection molding machine. Then machining operations. The robot is used to load raw blanks into the machine tool and unload finished parts from the machine. The change in shape and size of the part before and after machining often presents a problem in end effector design, and dual grippers are often used to deal with this issue. Forging. The robot is typically used to load the raw hot billet into the die, hold it during the forging blows, and remove it from the forge hammer. The hammering action and the risk of damage to the die or end effector are significant technical problems. End effector are significant technical problems. Forging and related processes are difficult as robot applications because of the severe conditions under which the robot must operate. Next is press working. Human operators work at considerable risk in sheet metal press working operations because of the action of the press. Robots are used as substitutes for the human workers to reduce the danger. In these applications, the robot loads the blank into the press, the stamping operation is carried out, and the part fails out the blank of the machine into a container. In high production runs, press working operations can be mechanized by using sheet metal coils instead of individual blanks. These operations require neither humans nor robots to participate directly in the process. Next is hear treating. These are often relatively simple operations in which robot loads and or unloads parts from the a furnace. Now you just see this robot's application, part selection and transfer robot. See that this robot has selected this part and it is transferring. Next is palletizing robots. See that robot, this conveyor is there. Robot is picking up this box and keeping here. Therefore, this is palletizing robot. Next is packing robot. See that robots are used for packaging also. We have seen that video. Here robot is used for packing operation. Now machine loading and unloading. See that this is articulated robot. This is the end effector or gripper. When this this robot will remove the job from the chuck, it will keep it at other place and again it will take unmachined part and it will fit inside the machine. Therefore, this is nothing but machine loading unloading robot. Now next application of robots is robots in assembly. Assembly robots are used for lean industrial processes and have expanded production capabilities in the manufacturing world. An assembly line robot can dramatically increase production speed and consistency. They also save some workers from tedious and dull assembly line jobs. Therefore, workers are saved because of these robots. End of arm tooling can be customized for each assembly robot to cater to the manufacturing requirements. Additional options like robotic vision can also be incorporated to improve efficiency and accuracy of part orientation or sorting identifiers. Now applications for robotic assembly include automotive components like pumps, motors and gearboxes. Computers and consumer electronics are another excellent area, as are medical devices and household appliances. Assembly robots are ideal for tasks demanding speed and or inculcate for a human, but they work quickly and accurately without tiring or making mistakes. They are good in applications where cleanliness is paramount, like pharmaceuticals, medical device assembly, and they are not prone to deliberate injuries like carpal tunnel syndrome that come with repetitive work. Now, what are the advantages of the robots when we will use it in industry? These advantages we'll discuss. First is increased efficiency. Industrial robots can complete certain tasks faster and more efficiently than humans as they are designed and built to perform them with high accuracy. This combined with the fact that they are used to automate processes which are previously might have been significantly more time consuming and rescue results in the use of industrial robots to increase the efficiency of the production line. Then improved quality. Given their high levels of accuracy, industrial robots can be used to produce higher quality products, which result in the reduction of time required for quality control and mm, ensures that standards of quality are adhered to. Then improved working environment. Some tasks are deemed as too dangerous or laborious and repetitive for humans to carry out, and so instead robots can perform these tasks. Working conditions therefore can be vastly improved as well as the safety within factories and production plants by introducing industrial robots. Increased profitability. The results of introducing industrial robots can only ensure higher profitability levels with lower cost for production as by increasing the efficiency of your process, reducing the resource and time required to complete it, while also achieving higher quality products. Introducing industrial robots save money in the long run, therefore increasing profitability due to saving of money in the long run. Longer working hours. As human breaks in the working day are required, distractions happen and attention snaps slow. Whereas robots can work 24 by 7 and keep working at 100% efficiency. On average, a 80% a 40% increase in the output of the production line occurs when one key person is replaced by a robot which operates the same working hours. Usually because of stamina, also robots don't take holidays or have unexpected absences. Therefore, robot is available 24 by 7. He is not going to take holidays or he will not remain absent. Now, disadvantages: capital cost. Implementing industrial robots can incur a high capital cost. However, they do provide highly effective and bring a positive ROI, that is return on investment. This is why prior to decisions being made, we have This is why prior to decisions being made, we always recommend consideration is given to both the investment required and also the ROI you expect to achieve in implementing robots. When the advice we give is to take out asset finance and the ROI of the robot more than pays for the interest on the asset finance. Then expertise. The initial setup of industrial robots requires a lot of training and expertise as with other types of technology. Thus is because they are excellent and performing many tasks. Good automation companies provide a support package for their expertise, which is an extremely important factor. However, to minimize reliance on automation technology companies, training can be given to engineers to allow them to program the robots through the assistance of experienced animation faculties is still required for the original integration of the robot. Therefore, these are the applications of robots in material handling. Okay, this is the last one. Now we will say other applications also. Now we will see applications of robotics once again. Whatever these different applications we have seen, I will repeat this. Now applications of robotics structure. First is introduction. In that we will see objectives. Second, industrial applications. In that first is material handling, welding, spray painting, assembling and machining. All these five applications we have seen. Still I am going to repeat. Then other applications we will find it in medical, mining, space, underwater, defense. Then robot economics and safety. We are going to see robot economics and robot safety. And last is summary. Now introduction. As studied in the previous units, a robot is a reprogrammable multifunctional. Whether skin is visible? Hello?
No, sir.
Hello? Hello? Skin is visible now? Hello? Anyone can confirm?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now applications of robotics structure. First is introduction. In that we are going to see objectives. Second, industrial applications, material handling, welding, spray painting, assembling, machining. Again, we are going to see this. Then next are the other applications, medical, medical, then mining, space, underwater, defense, then robot economics and safety we will see. In that robot economics and robot safety. And last point is summary. Therefore, introduction. As studied in previous units, a robot is a reprogrammable, multifunctional machine designed to manipulate materials, parts, tools, or specialized devices through variable programmed motions for the performance of a variety of tasks. It can conveniently be used for a variety of industrial tasks. Today, 90% of all robots used are found in factories and they are referred as industrial robots. Robots are slowly finding their way into warehouses, laboratories, research and exploration sites, power plants, hospitals, undersea, and even outer space. Few of the advantages for which the robots are attractive in industrial uses are: first, robots never get sick or not to rest or need to rest, so they can work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. When the task required would be dangerous for a person, they can do the work instead. Next, robots do not get bored, so the work that is repetitive and unrewarding is of no problem for a robot. Therefore, what are the objectives of this applications of industrial robots? After studying this unit, you should be able to first know the various industrial applications of robots. Second, various advantages and disadvantages of robots under a given condition. Third, decide whether a particular job is suitable for robots or against it. And fourth, what are the economical considerations of using robot? And last, fifth, relevant safety features. Therefore, all these points we are going to see. Now, industrial applications. There are certain industrial tasks robots do very well, like material transfer, machine loading, spot welding, continuous arc welding, spray coating, material removal, cutting operations, assembling operations, part inspection, part sorting, part cleaning, part polishing, and a dozen more specialized tasks. In this section, some of these applications will be elaborated. Therefore, first is material handling. Already we have seen this. Again, still we will see. During the 60s and the 70s, automation has primarily affected the manufacturing process and to control, but not the auxiliary functions such as handling, setup, loading, and unloading. The time spent to transfer a workpiece from one station to the next is still high. Up to 95% of the time involved in manufacturing a part is composed of transfer and waiting time, and only about 5% of the total time is the part in the actual processing time. Whereas processing time has been reduced considerably by automation, much less progress has been made in handling and loading. The fully automatic systems that were developed for mass production, for example, assembly transfer lines in the automobile industry, are rigid or into bracket hard automation and are not suitable for batch production, means in the order of 50 to 1 lakh parts annually. A more flexible automation technology which takes into account frequent changes in production is needed for this category of industrial production, which accounts for about 75% of the manufactured parts. Hence, with the development of industrial robots, a new solution is offered to the handling and machine tool loading of small and medium series parts. Actually loading and unloading machine tools are the major applications of robots. Therefore, robots are utilized to load and unload machine tools in two basic configurations. First, a robot tending a single machine, and B, robot serving a single machines. The first configuration is applied when typical machining times per part are slow, part are short, and sequence extreme, and when a chain of operations must be executed to complete a part. This category includes a wide variety of applications. The items being handled by robots may vary, may weigh anything. The items being handled by robots may weigh anything for a few grams to some tons. Obviously, the type of robot applied will also vary considerably from lightweight, non-servo controlled or pneumatic robots through medium-sized electric types to massive hydraulic manipulators. For many applications, the cylindrical, polar, and articulated types are equally suitable, and for some light duty work in restricted areas, rectangular types may be used. For material handling applications, point-to-point control is necessary. The controller should be able to store large number of points and have the facility to easily program horizontal and vertical increments. Thus, by defining only the start point, the robot arm can be programmed to pick or place operations at equal steps along the X, Y, and Z axis respectively by simplifying the definition of the length, direction, and number of steps. Next application is welding. Welding is a manufacturing process in which two pieces of metal are joined usually by heating and fusing. The welding operations performed by robots are thermal processes in which the metals are joined by melting or fusing their contacting surfaces. These processes can be grouped under the two classes by namely where no filler material is added to the point of interface, and second in which filler material is added of the same type as the parent metal is added. Accordingly, there are two types of welding operations performed by robots: spot welding and arc welding. Therefore, first of all, we will see spot welding. Spot welding falls in the first category, which the two applications piece of metal are joined only at certain points. The required heat is generated by the passage of an electric current through the metals at the point where they are to be joined. Spot welding is frequently used in the automotive industry to join thin sheet metals. Arc welding falls in the second category, in which the two metals are joined along a continuous path. The required heat is provided by an electric arc generated between the electrode and the metals. Arc welding is needed because arc welding is needed, for example, in sealing a container against leakage. Each of these welding operations requires a different type of equipment and a different control system for the robot arm. Therefore, this is nothing but for welding applications. Now, spot welding. A spot welding robot has to carry the welding gun, which consists of the electrodes, the cables which are required to conduct the high current, and sometimes water cooling system for the electrodes. The welding gun is relatively heavy, 10 to 80 kg, and many DC motor driven robots cannot handle such heavy loads. Therefore, most of the spot welding robots are hydraulically powered. The control system for spot welding robots is of point to point type. The desired positional accuracy is usually not high, and a positional accuracy of plus minus 1 mm is sufficient. This repeatability is much better than that obtained by human welders. Further, the operation of robotized spot welding is very fast. When the distance between spot welds is 25 to 50 mm, several spot welds can be made per second faster than human welders. Positioning of the welds is more accurate and resulting in more uniform quality. Therefore, this is nothing but application of spot welding in the automotive industry. Spot welding generates sparks which might be detected by the robot controller as feedback pulses. Therefore, robots operating in a spot welding environment may require isolation transformers or social screening and filtering devices for their controllers to protect them from the electrical noise and ensure reliable positioning. Another specific feature is an arm that enclosed and thereby protects the cables from sparks. Spot welding robots are used in fabrication of structural metal products, domestic appliances, metal furniture, etc., which do not require lightweight, light tight, liquid tight joints, etc. However, nowhere have spot welding robots affected industry operation more than in car body assembly. The first spot welding robots were installed in 1969 at a General Motor plant for welding car bodies. Since then, spot welding robots have proved to be very profitable. However, parts of the robots can be suspended from the ceiling, which saves which saves expensive floor space. Several robots can operate simultaneously on the same car body, which increases the efficiency of the assembly line. Better efficiency is also obtained by specifying fewer welds for robot welding than with human welders. A human operator might miss a weld or make it in an incorrect location, and therefore many times extra welds are added at the design stage. With robot operation, the work environment is consistent and all the welds are placed in the right location, and therefore the required body strength can be achieved by specifying fewer welds. Therefore, this for spot welding robots are used, and for spray painting also you will find these robots used for spot welding and spray painting in Tata company or in Maruti, wherever these four wheelers are manufactured. Therefore, you will find the robots are there for spray painting application. A typical assembly line produces between 50 to 90 cars per hour, and the work is performed while the car bodies are continuously moving on conveyors, which means that the well location specified by the task programs should be synchronized with the velocity of the assembly line. Since the velocity of the assembly line is constant, the positional compensation is inserted off line into the task programs, and consequently these programs are appropriate only for one specific line society. Now arc welding robots here figure shown. While most robotic arc welding uses a consumable wire electrode, that is in MIG welding with an automatic wire feeder, welding with non-consumable tungsten electrodes with shielding gas, that is in TIG welding, is also in use. In arc welding, the robot uses the welding gun as a tool. The mechanism is demonstrated in figure. See that this arc welding is there. This is the welding gun. This is the arc. This is the melt. This is the handle where this worker can grip or grab the this arc welding gun. Water inlet. This is shielding gas. This is feed rolls. Now this is ceramic cup. Then glass shield weld. Glass shield is there. Weld is there. This is the weld. Then power source is there. This is power supply generator, considering plus or minus terminals. The consumable electrode, which provides the filler material, is in the form of a wire coiled on a drum of the same composition as the material to be welded. Wire diameters of 0.8 to 4.8 mm are commonly used. The wire is automatically fed by a motor with adjustable speed at a preset rate that is determined by the arc voltage. The wire feed increases with an increase in the voltage applied between the work and the electrode. This voltage can be monitored and used to maintain a constant arc length by varying the speed of the motor which feeds the wire. In order to keep the electrode cooler and permit higher currents to be used, the shielding gas flows in a tube along with the electrode or along the electrode. The tube is terminated in a nozzle at the end of the gun from which the gas flows into the arc region. Welding robotic systems sometimes use water cooler guns. The weight of the welding gun is usually not heavy unless the water cooled type is used, and therefore DC servo motor driven robots are typically used in arc welding. Through hydraulically drive robot are also sometimes used. Welding speeds range from about 10 to over 120 inch per minute, that is 0.25 to 3 meter per minute. The welding current usually ranges between 100 to 300 ampere, but with the larger electrodes, the current may be as high as 1200 ampere, resulting in a very deep penetration of the weld. Therefore, if current is higher, penetration of the weld is deeper. The control of both the rate at which the wire electrodes is fed and the welding cycle, that is, the time during which the inert gas flows, are performed by the standard welding equipment. The task of the robot is to lead the welding gun along the programmed trajectory. The control system for robots in arc welding is usually of a continuous path type. Nevertheless, point-to-point control systems are also used. In point-to-point programming, the required trajectory is divided into a large number of small, for example, 1 centimeter, and equal segments. In all cases, the control computer of the robots is interfaced with the control unit of the welding equipment in order to synchronize the start and termination of the robot motions with the cycle of the welding equipment. Therefore, this is nothing but for arc welding and spray painting application. Now, spray painting, the unhealthy and unpleasant environment of the painting booth in industry made this process an ideal candidate for the application of robots. The solvent materials that are used in spray painting are toxic, and therefore the operators must be protected by masks and be provided with fresh air ventilation. The painting area must be dust free and temperature controlled, and consequently the painting booth is small in size and inconvenient for the operators. Furthermore, the noise arising from the air discharge through the painting nozzles can cause irreversible damage to the ears. For all these reasons, spray painting became one of the first applications of robots. The requirement for robots in spray painting are different from those of other robot applications, and therefore many robot manufacturers offer a robot dedicated to this one application. The spray painting robots are of cylindrical point capability or continuous part type are of continuous part type capability and have the following characteristics. First, high level of manipulator dexterity. Dexterity means skill. Meaning of dexterity is nothing but skill. Large working volume for small base manipulator. Compact reads, small payload, and low accuracy and repeatability. The painting robot must be able to carry any type of spray gun. Spray guns, however, are light in weight, and therefore painting robots are designed for small payloads, for example, 1 kg. Finally, the requirements for repeatability and resolution are the least severe in painting robots. The exact location of endpoints is not critical, and in many jobs can be even outside the painted surface. Therefore, a repeatability of 2 mm throughout the working volume is regarded as sufficient for spray painting robots. Therefore, this is nothing but spray painting robots. Now, assembling with industrial robots are mainly used for small products such as electrical switches and small motors. Robotized assembly systems are programmable and therefore provided a cost-effective solution for the assembly of small batch sizes and for batches containing different products. Although industrial robots require the same fixtures, feeders, and other equipment for positioning the parts as conventional assembly machines, simpler workpiece feeder and fixtures may be used because of robots' programmability feature. Furthermore, tactile or optical sensors may be added to the assembly robot to tackle more complex assembly tasks. Some assembly tasks require the participation of more than one robot. In order to reduce the cost per arm, there are systems in which several Cartesian arms can use the same base and share the same controller. Assembly robots can be designed in any coordinate system, that is Cartesian, cylindrical, spherical, or articulated. However, many tasks require only vertical assembly motions, such as the assembly of printed circuit boards. For these applications, the 4-6 robot shown in figure 3.2 can be adequate. Its arms has two articulated motions and the wrist has two axes of motion, that is a linear vertical displacement and a roll movement. This robot can pick up parts located on the horizontal plane, bring them to the assembly location, orient them with the roll motion of the wrist, and finally insert them in a vertical motion. Therefore, this is assembling. See that this Kara type robot for assembly in the vertical direction. The class of robot is known as the selective compliance assembly robot arm type robot and was developed in Japan. Therefore, this Kara robot, that video we have seen. Then machining. There are 5 basic types of machine tools to perform machining: drilling machine, lathe or turning machine, milling machine, shaper, and grinder. Out of all these machining operations, only drilling is being successfully done with robots and mainly in the aircraft industry. Another application related to machining which is performed by robots is deburring metal parts. Most metal parts made by machining operations, either by machine tools or by mass production machines, contain burrs, that is rough edges or ridges left on the machined surfaces. The removal of these burrs can be done by robots. Then drilling. Robots can replace the manual operators if the template hole is provided with a chamfered guide. The gripper of the robot holds a portable pneumatic drill and guides from hole to hole. At each hole, a fixed drill cycle is performed and then the robot moves the drill to the next hole. Programming the robot to perform the task is quite simple. Since drilling is point-to-point operation, the manual teaching method is appropriate. The programming and control methods are much more complicated when continuous path machining operations are applied. CPM is continuous path. Then deburring. This much we will see, then we will stop. Burrs are generated almost always when machining is performed on metal parts. Burrs are generated between a machined surface and a raw surface, or at the intersection between two machined surfaces. The removal of these burrs is an expensive operation. Most deburring is performed manually by workers equipped with appropriate tools. By closely following the manual method, the industrial robot can solve most deburring problems. There are two basic ways to perform robotized deburring. If the part is relatively lightweight, it can be picked up by the robot and brought to the deburring tool. If the part is heavy, then the robot holds the tool. The support of the tool is very important, whether it is held by the robot or mounted on the work table. In both cases, The relative motion between the tool and the part is of a continuous type. CP means continuous path type with high repeatability, approximately 0.2 mm, and highly controlled speed. Therefore, deburring is one of the most difficult tasks for robot. Therefore, this is nothing but applications of robot for assembly, machining, welding, and for machine loading and unloading. Therefore, other applications are there. Medical, this we'll see in next lecture. Now we'll stop here. Please wait.